This chapter, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. It's a lot to cover in this chapter, and I'm really excited to talk about it because so much happened and it's so much hype. I mentioned this in my live reaction. If you guys don't know, I live react to my other channel, B.D.A, and in that live reaction, I mentioned this could be a huge turning point for the Wano arc in regards to just how people perceive things, where right now, based on what's happening in this chapter, things are different. Like everything that we once thought, we can't think that way anymore because Oda gave us, it's a huge plot twist. It's a huge curveball. And without further ado, let's just talk about it. Let's just get into a general discussion. I'm not going to get too deep because we wait till Sundays to do that, but we got to talk about it. First off, the cover page. Like I was stating, the entire point of this cover page, if it wasn't painfully obvious before, was for Chiffon and Lola to meet Pound, where personally I think that Pound should have been dead. And for some people, they were questioning whether or not it was Pound. I was like, yo, guys, clearly that is Pound. That was Pound in the cover story the last time we saw, being found in Greenbit by the Tentata. So now Pound being in Dressrosa, he meets Capone, Lola, Gotti, and Chiffon. And that was the entire point of the cover page. I mean, I do think there is some more to it. Maybe Capone at this point, they go to Wano, but the cover story was all right. It was all right to below average. I was okay with it, with Capone and them doing that stuff, even though it had no purpose for me personally as a reader. I was like, all right, they're doing it. It's cool. Now with Pound, I'm like, why? No. Why did this happen? So anyway, let's get to the chapter because this cover page is infuriating me. Chapter 983. Let's talk about it. Thunder, by the way. That's going to be important later on. Let's talk about it. So, Perospero, he's going after the Alliance. And not the Alliance you think of. The Alliance. And he mentions Marco, Luffy, and King. And at this point, Perospero is not happy with how Big Mom is doing things. So, Perospero and his actions may cause a huge ripple effect in Wano. But I think that's great. And I think it speaks to just how strongly he feels about this stuff. Where for him, he felt like this alliance should not happen. And again, we have to keep in mind, Perospero is the eldest son. So, Perospero, more than likely, he met Kaido before. He's seen some Kaido. And for him, he's like, yo, this is not the best move for us. So Perospero, I mentioned my live reaction again in a stream on Brago DA's, that other channel, and I had a discussion as well. Go check it out. I said he was giving me Shia Poo vibes, like Shia Poo from Hunter x Hunter. And this point, he's basically saying, Big Mom, you don't know what's best for you. I know what's best for you. So I'm going to go and fix it. So I'm really interested in what the hell Perospero is going to do here. Speaking of Big Mom, we get to the scene with Nami, Sanji, Chopper, all those guys. And at this point, Big Mom, she's not chasing the tank anymore because she hit it. It survived. And then it transformed. And they're saying, well, they served their purpose. At this point, it's up to Sanji, Nami, Carrot, those guys. Something happened where they praised Sanji. They said, Sanji's with them, they will be okay. And I went crazy in my live reaction. Then I read what happened and I read what Sanji did. And it was just like, it doesn't stop. It just doesn't stop with Sanji. It's just like, he has moments where it's like, he can show out perversion, simping, just doing stuff that just is like Sanji loving women and being a pervert. It's just so embedded in his character at this point. Like the gags, some of them are funny. And personally, I don't even hate this one that much because I understand the purpose of it, right? And we'll talk about that another time. But I think Sanji, he's been secluded here. But it's just, the execution is a bit weird. I mean, I love Sanji. I absolutely do. It's just, we keep doing this. That was not surprising at all what happened. It really wasn't. It didn't bother me as much or at all, honestly. It was like, all right, Sanji's here. Let's move on. Let's just read on, right? But it's just like the same thing, just over and over again. A moment that was funny, though, was when Prometheus, he's telling Big Mom where Nami and Carrot were. Initially, when I saw it, I said, Perospero, he's a big flaming fireball. Like, why is he just playing the role of director here when he could dominate Nami and Carrot? Or he should be able to do that. But that goes back to Big Mom's childlike nature and how the homies, their reflection of that. For them, they're kind of playing hide and seek. So they're having a good time in the midst of all that. And I can't forget to mention, Big Mom just created some homies to go after them as well. So things are definitely picking up. This Momonosuke panel is weird. You have a young child and you're about to execute him because he was supposed to be dead 20 years ago. And everybody's like, what are you talking about? It's a weird thing. But Orochi's thorough. I give him that. He's very thorough. So I can't be mad at him doing this because this paranoia is something that has been eating away at him, giving him chills. And for Orochi to take care of this now is very important to him and honestly very smart. So I'm here for it. It's funny how this chapter turned into Zoro versus Kid indirectly, which is weird as hell, where people are talking about how Zoro was huffing and puffing versus gifters and stuff, and how Kid, he was stuck with gifters. So now people are trying to compare them and put them on the same level just because of this chapter. I'm like, yo, what is up with you guys? Like, why do we do this? You know, with the community, you gotta love it, but we gotta stop doing this. It's just a moment. They're fighting gifters. It's not a big deal. They're just stepping stones. We know Zoro and Kid, they're gonna have major fights in the arc. So why are we worrying about it? This is crazy. The major part of the chapter, Luffy, ulti, page 1, Yamato. right? We'll talk about that. But first, Page One and Ulti, they're really close. Like, Ulti really cares about Page One. Everything that happens to him, she's like, oh my God, Pepe, like, how could this happen to you? She really cares about her sibling. So her actually getting mad and going at Luffy was not a surprise at all. I mean, she seemed like she was very overprotective and she was the overprotective big sister, but this was on another level. Like, she got upset and she just fully charged at Luffy and she headbutted him. And ideals are important here. Oda's mixing it up and mixing it in. Even with the panel with Zoro, where a lot of these people, their will and ambition, they've been broken. Like, they wanted to become Pirate King at some point, but then Kaido and his devastating strength, it made him say, you know what, maybe I'm not the Pirate King type. I'll just serve on to you, Kaido. So for them, they're trying to project how they feel or their failed ambitions on Kid, and Zoro is like, yo, just give up. You can't win. And that's the theme of Wano, where a lot of people, they've given up. They've succumbed to the pressure that Kaido's put on Wano. So of course, Luffy storms in and he says, I'm the man that will become the Pirate King. For Ulti, she's a bit peeved because she's saying, no, the person who will become the Pirate King is Kaido-sama. And then they have a huge skull clash. Now, I'm not saying she has Conqueror's Haki, right? I don't think that's what that clash was implying. It's just hockey, just regular hockey clash. However, if she did, I wouldn't be mad because she would be the only person confirmed other than Kaido to have King's Haki. So that wouldn't bother me at all. So it's a great clash. Now I got to talk about the choreography in this chapter. It's minimal. I love when they transformed and they were like, all right, we got to take this a bit seriously. Luffy blitzed them and that exchange, beautiful, just amazing. It was reminding me of Luffy versus Katakuri. I was like, these are the chapters that I love. This is it. This is it. And you know, people are gonna be like, oh my God, you're such a meathead. You don't know. When Oda wants to, the action in these chapters are spectacular. And of course, in Wano, there've been small scuffles. There've been some interactions, some altercations, but this, they were throwing hands. And it looked beautiful, especially with Ulti putting up her fight, almost forcing Luffy to go to Gear 4. Then the guy, Yamato. And Yamato is somebody who was waiting for Luffy. Why was he waiting for Luffy? We don't know. Yamato is somebody that's Kaido's son. Why is he betraying Kaido? We don't know. Yamato is somebody who, I guess seemingly at this point, one-shot Ulti. Why is he attacking the Flying Six? Well, because they're trying to capture him, right? That's clear. But holy slapsticks, dog. I am not sure where the hell Wano is going now. Like, I think this chapter, like I said, so much is different. A lot is different. Like, you're introducing Kaido's son, who Kaido has to keep chained down, who at this point was waiting for Luffy. Who at this point, what else is gonna happen here? Because everything we initially thought, I mean, people were speculating Yamato could be, you know, somebody that's really strong, that's fighting the Straw Hats, fighting Marco, fighting King, but not fighting King, fighting Zoro. Now he's on the Straw Hat side, and he's a pretty big human being as well. And we cannot forget he used the same exact attack that Kaido used on Luffy. And that's why people think Ulti's knocked out. I think she may be temporarily out, like maybe a few seconds. If that, she's a Zoan. We expect her to bounce back. That was an amazing twist. Even after they are running away and he's saying, yo, I don't want to hurt you. And Luffy's like, well, you didn't give off that impression. And Luffy, we know he can sense people's intent. So for him, he's like, nah, you didn't give off any, you know, killing intent or murderous intent. Like, I could tell you were a good dude. So I want to know the story. I want to know exactly what is the story behind Yamato. How can he be this way? Like, what the hell is actually going on? Like, what happened with Kaido? Where did Kaido go wrong as a father? And now a lot of those Kaido moments with Momonosuke is definitely resonating, because I'm sure Kaido as a dad, he's taking a step back and looking, yo, what did I do wrong? What did I do to deserve this? And Yamato, he's working for the enemy. He's with the enemy at this point. Like, for Kaido, that's why he was chained. And, you know, Black Maria said it would be difficult. What is going on in Wano? And that doesn't even include the Marco stuff and possibly who the other person was. That wasn't even mentioned. Dog, Wano's going up. And honestly, no BS, I gotta give Oda some credit. And this goes back to Ulti as a character and Ulti and Page One's relationship. Making Ulti the dominant person in this relationship, I think, is somehow unlike Oda. Because for the most part, well, just to break it down really quickly, Oda and female characters, they typically don't end well. And for some people, they may say, well, Ulti ultimately got one shot by Yamato, but Yamato is the son of Kaido. And for, I guess, the kids of the Yonko, we expect great things. Like looking at Katakuri the GOAT. And for Yamato now, him using the Thunder Bagua, which is an insane move. And I guess that's just in the story, one shot potential, no questions asked. That's how she got knocked out, and she was off guard as well. So I think Ulti's personality is great. She's extremely aggressive, she's extremely overprotective, and she's competent, right? To the point that when you think about Ulti in her introduction, what she is now and how aggressive she is, that wasn't what was implied at all when we first saw her. Of course, she has this aggressive tone sometimes with Kaido. Like, she was the only one keeping it real with Kaido and not sugarcoating anything she was saying. I said she was giving me Baby 5 vibes, and for those powerful people, they appreciate things like that. So for Ulti, we're not going to shoot too much bail. We're not going to say, oh my God, this is the best thing, because it's not. It's the bare minimum. And I think for female characters, we have to see exactly what Ulti does going forward. But I like the start for her because she's not done. She's definitely going to come back in the arc. But for right now, I'm liking her. I really enjoyed this chapter. This chapter was really, really good. Really fun, action-packed, dialogue, story progressed. Loved it. Really, really loved it. Guys, give me your thoughts. How do you feel about the chapter? Did you like it? What do you think about Yamato, Ulti, Page 1, Luffy? How did it make you feel? Even Perospero. That is a crazy thing that's happening right now, guys. Give me your thoughts. Like the video. Subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Follow me on Twitter at BroccoliAce. Follow me on Instagram, broccoli.ace. Thank you to my patrons. I appreciate you guys so much. Oh my God, guys. Wano is going up. Again, like, subscribe. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.